Could Braxton Miller become Alabama's next quarterback? Lots of retweets of Paul Feinbaum's comment that a source told him there's a chance the former Heisman candidate could wind up in Tuscaloosa. Hi everyone, I'm Ray Crawford here with our Alabama insider, a longtime member of the Crimson Tide broadcast team, Chris Stewart. So Chris, where is this team right now at the quarterback position?
Well, they've got a lot of numbers, and I think coming out of the spring, while they did not determine who the starter would be, I think it was probably narrowed. And Jake Coker, who many people believed 12 months ago would be the starter, once again is the top of the list, I think, at this point. But he's also being pushed by David Cornwell, and Alec Morris, who's been around the program for a long time, I think is also at least in the discussion. So I would say it would be one of those three. And you've got a true freshman in Blake Barnett, who probably hasn't been on campus long enough considering the other guys that are ahead of him.
Still, there were 6 interceptions thrown in the spring game, and it would appear that they could use some help. So do you think Nick Saban would be open to adding another quarterback?
I will say that at one of his caravan stops throughout the state last night, Nick Saban was asked a generic question about transfers, and he said they have a couple of spots open. If it's the right person, if it's the right player at the right position, then he would certainly be open to that. Now, you can interpret that however you would like, but there are a lot of people that do believe that the Ohio State quarterback would look very good in crimson.
All right, it'll be interesting to see if anything develops here in the coming months. Chris, thanks as always.
Glad to do it.
Let's get Doug Chapman's take on this. And Doug, how would Braxton Miller fit in with the system there at Alabama?
If it were 3 years ago, he wouldn't fit it at all.
Yeah.
Because that was before Lane Kiffin got there. But what Lane Kiffin does now offensively, he doesn't try to take a square peg and force him into a circle-shaped hole. He'll take a guy like Braxton Miller. He understands Braxton Miller's skill set, and he'll build that offense around him. We saw what Blake Sims was able to do last year, and we didn't expect Blake Sims to be able to do that coming out of spring. The quarterbacks didn't look great this spring, so you never know what's going to happen with the guys they already have on roster. But Braxton Miller will be an addition to this offense. He's mobile, not the strongest arm, but he has had success passing the ball, and they will put him in shotgun, spread that offense out. Him and Lane Kiffin, it could be another big year for Alabama offensively.
All right, will Miller be in an Ohio State uniform in the fall?
He will not be in Columbus. Might be in Tuscaloosa.
It could very well be.
Real good chance.
Yeah, Oregon, LSU. He's been rumored to go a lot of places. All right, Doug, thanks very much. One choice Miller had and passed on was turning pro. Crowded field of quarterbacks in this year's draft. Check out our coverage here on Campus Insiders.